Welcome to the Zono Sports Show, where you know Zonos. Now, today, obviously, we're getting close to that NCAA tournament. However, there's stuff still going on in the NBA. The Cavs cannot catch a break. Literally, they caught one. Andrew Bogut, they just got the man. He was a free agent. Just got him. Unrestricted he was. Just signed him. Last night, breaks his tibia less than a minute into the game. 58 seconds into the game, he breaks his leg. The Cavaliers, at this point, they got to look at Deron Williams, and that addition needs to add value. It needs to show value. It needs to shine through because this injury could hurt them. I think Andrew Bogut was a guy that could actually have won at least one playoff game for the Cavaliers. Now, with him out of the middle and you just got Tristan Thompson, nobody like the caliber of Bogut to back Tristan Thompson up. I think it really puts them in a predicament. So the Cavaliers, they've got a lot of work to do as far as their bench goes. They still don't seem to have enough ammo in the tank when it matters most to maybe make it all the way through the playoffs and then take on Golden State. Whether or not they'll have Kevin Durant, we don't know that. But they needed Andrew Bogut. And for him to get hurt a minute into the game, what does that tell me about this guy? He's fragile. We've known that for quite some time. But Andrew Bogut, it looks like it may be time to possibly look at retirement just because the injuries continue to pile up. And you've had a decent career. You've won a championship with the Warriors. And so it just looks like at this point, you may need to reevaluate some things because you can't stay on the floor. The Cavaliers, they needed you. They lost you. LeBron publicly apologized to his wife. Now, what do I mean publicly apologize? He didn't necessarily come out and apologize to her, but he basically let her know that he understands at times he hasn't been there for her and their three kids, their babies, because of what he's trying to accomplish in the path that he's on to search for this greatness and what he's chasing. However, I think that she understands that. And also, I like LeBron coming out and saying things like this and letting us know what he said privately, publicly, because it tells me that he is realizing a king's mortality. He understands that the end of the road is near. He will not play in the NBA his entire life. His career is coming to a close, not a fast close, but he's slowly fading away into the record books and into the rafters. So what does LeBron have to do? He's got to continue to build that legacy, but I commend the man for acknowledging to his family that he knows he hasn't been there for each and every step, maybe not every ball game, every event, but I think LeBron does a fine job of being a dad, so he can chill out on that. Also, you got to remember, he's mentioned the roster. He's mentioned what Charles Barkley said and Frank Isola. So he's in tune with everything that's going on around him. I think he's trying to soak in the duration of his career. And he's not going to let anybody talk bad about him. And he's not going to let management sit on their hands and not do anything. He wants to win back to back. And I can't knock that, okay? I can't knock it. Now, Draymond, on Sunday, he was complaining. Now, anybody on the Warriors, I don't know why they would complain right now, just considering with everything that's going on. They should be grateful that they're still number one in the Western Conference. Draymond, with disgruntled with the Knicks, said that the lack of music during this past Sunday, bumping in Madison Square Garden, it was bad in the first half. It was quiet. I even saw Rick Ross on First Take the other day talk about how it's not a good thing when you hear a big size 17, 18, 19 shoe just skirt, 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 skirt. So maybe Draymond Green had a point. When I go to a game, a basketball game, especially an NBA game, I want to see entertainment. I want to hear entertainment, especially with a team like the Knicks. You guys should do everything in your power to make sure that your fans are not bored because they don't get a good product. And I guarantee the food at the concession stands and the beers probably don't taste as good just because the Knicks are that bad. So, Draymond, lay off him. I think that you guys should worry about hoop because San Antonio, they're only 2.5 games back, and they're closing faster than a 7-Eleven on the south side of Chicago. So, Draymond, focus on winning games and keeping that lead because Kawhi Leonard, he beat James Harden last night in the Rockets, and he showed why he has a valid case for NBA MVP. And I can't knock the man. I mean, he's put on a show. He's put the NBA on notice to let you know that, hey, I play defense, but I got a little offensive sauce too. So Kawhi Leonard's somebody that we're going to have to watch out for because he's just going to continue to develop and get better and better. Now, let's move over to the NCAA. These conference tournaments, they're all about cream. Cash rules everything around me. Shout out Wu-Tang. One big conferences, teams that have been winning the entire year win their conference and only lose maybe 1 or 2 conference games, Monmouth, Belmont. Why aren't we giving these teams bid to tournaments? Why aren't we doing things to prevent the type of travesties that are happening. For instance, Monmouth having to play at Siena a de facto home game because Siena sold more tickets. Now, $900 million a season per year is made by these conferences. So why is it that we cannot find a way to take care of these players and take care of these teams who put in the work all year? Now, as far as taking care of the players, Nigel Hayes was on point. He's been on point all year. He's been 100 about it. He has said that, hey, we know how much the NCAA makes off of all these games and these tournaments. We understand that. So what should you guys do? Pay them out, NCAA. Stop making these guys go out there and dictating what type of tournaments they can play in because of where you want them to play their conference tournaments. So a team shouldn't have to go to the NIT because they lost in their conference tournament when they were winning the thing all year. And these players that are not getting paid and not getting compensated, but they're making all this money for conferences and institutions. NCAA, college basketball, college football. When are we going to revisit this and potentially do something to implement the funds, implement the usage of funds towards paying for players in school to do extra stuff because they generate so much money? Make it happen, NCAA. Make it happen. In the NFL, obviously we've been watching the Combine. Now that's a collection of supreme talent. John Ross, wide receiver from Washington, ran a 4.22 40-yard dash. Fastest 40 at the Combine, fastest 40 ever at the Combine. Now, he wore the wrong shoes. Why is that so significant? He wore the wrong shoes, so no, that's no island. Not even a peninsula, Andre 3000 would say. He had to wear Adidas in order to get that island that they were offering for the fastest 40 at the Combine. This man wore Nikes, so check him out. Maybe Nike should just go ahead and give him an island just because Adidas wants to be like that and be petty. You didn't run in our shoes, so we can't give you the island. I don't like that, Adidas. That's not very nice. Be a company of your word. Have some character. Now, also, my biggest takeaway from the Combine that I've got to mention, Jabril Peppers, he will be the most talented rookie on defense since Ed Reed. He's a ball hawk. He can run. He can play offense. He can return. He can do everything. He's a guy that's going to change that position, and I think that we're going to see someone who's a generational player, someone that we'll remember. He jumped higher than A.J. Green at the Combine, and he ran faster than Earl Thomas and a number of other athletes that are world-renowned in the NFL right now. And he has a story, and people with a story get real hungry when it counts. So watch out for Mr. Jabril Peppers. Also, check out the World Baseball Classic that's going on now. That's good to watch every year. I don't particularly watch it, but I catch a game here or there on ESPN. But look forward to seeing that. Now, next show, we'll talk about some more tournament talk. We are inching close to the big dance. Once everything materializes, then I'll be able to give you my real perspective on what Zoe knows about the NCAA tournament, a.k.a. Big Dance. Thank you for watching the Zoe Knows Sports Show, where you know Zoe knows.